The Rain Gods played havoc on day one, and day was called off without any ball being bowled. People everywhere, cricket fans everywhere were hoping and praying that the weather holds up on day two and we get some form of action on the ultimate test on day two, which it did, and was a solid batting performance by India and some good bowling by New Zealand that was on display on day two. Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Uncommentary, where we discuss our common and uncommon opinions. With me, as usual, is my friend Narayanan. Hey, Narayanan. What a day's play. What a day's play. Rain playing spoil sport yet again. Bad light. It was all happening at Southampton.
First of all, I think it was so crucial that the match at least started on time. Southampton SOU on Google search, the first search that was popping up was only Southampton weather update. So people were very, very tense to just see whether the day would commence on time, and thankfully it did commence on time. So that was a first half battle won, but nevertheless, it
First
was a
positive,
good day's
yeah.
play. Yeah, positive sign, and it was a good day's play with both teams fighting it out, with India finishing the day at 144 for 3.
Speaking about Indian innings, a solid start. And I reckon it was a blessing in disguise that India lost the toss, and Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill beautifully played the first session out. But then, as it has been the case for the past so many games, Rohit Sharma sees his eye in and then throws it away. This time to a good catch by Tim Southee in the slips.
Yeah, absolutely. Kohli should really start learning the drills of how to win the toss as well, I think. Or rather not go for the toss. You could rather just tell the opposing captain, what do you plan to do? Then we'll rather do the opposite. But it was a good toss to lose. It was a crucial 1 hour phase with cloudy conditions and rain imminent. And you could see that the ball was doing a bit, not too much, just that enough one bit for the batsman to have to be in two minds, and a few jaffers going outside the bat, and
yes,
you could see that they took it slow in the first 1 hour, 15 overs to get their eye in. But once they did sneak in and then get in, it was a good passage of play before eventually Rohit just threw his wicket away. What do you think about Rohit's wicket?
Rohit Sharma has done this so many times. According to me, he shouldn't have played that shot. I think I was discussing with you on a group chat on WhatsApp that he fetched for the ball. He shouldn't have gone for that. And it was a ball on the fifth stump. You leave those kind of balls, and it gave so much time to Southee to actually, measure the trajectory of the ball and then dive for it. So
it was a very good catch. Very good catch.
It was, yeah.
Rohit's foot, if you notice, didn't move. It was just planted at the crease, and he just moved his back towards the ball, trying to reach out to the ball. And I think that is what triggered that sort of a dismissal. The whole morning, when he had played beautifully, where he was leaving anything outside off.
Yeah,
especially after getting his eye in at about 34 runs, that was not the shot that you would have expected of Rohit.
Yeah, some of his back foot punches on the offside, if you saw, they were really crackling ones. And I was like, Rohit Sharma is in for a big one today. And I think I said that too early, I believe. If you saw his dismissal, his bat was just dead there. He was, his approach was right. It was really low. He bent really low to play that shot, but then it was dead. He should have, had his hands really loose. In fact, he shouldn't have played that shot, to be honest.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
let it go. Yeah. Other end, Shubman Gill, some really good straight drives, on drives, and a crackling pull shot to open his account, with the
yeah.
boundary.
As well as a pull of Jamieson.
Yeah,
The
some
sound of the
really wonderful.
pad was beautiful to hear.
Yep, yep, 100%. And I believe they gave India the start they were looking for Che and Virat Kohli to pile upon. Che took his sweet own time,
Shea
and
doing Shea things.
yes, and at one point, in fact, a couple of times in the crowd, there was a gentleman who was holding his banner, Che, no rush, Pujara, no
Yeah,
rush.
yeah, yeah.
India wanted him to be there. I was like, go, just dig yourself in, just cement there, make runs after tea, play the entire session out. But he got a Jaffa. Trent Bowl was an absolute peach of a delivery.
Uh, Before I just come back to that dismissal, was it South Africa when India told South Africa that Shea took 54 balls to get off the mark? Where
I'll have to check the
started
analysis. I'll have
the
to
crowd
check the
started cheering when
analysis.
he just took the first single. But for
Yeah,
some reason, I think it was when we were touring South Africa, the last time when we lost the series there. But
yeah.
yeah,
It was
the
similar to
analysis.
Rahul Dravid's inning in Brisbane in 2008, where he didn't score for about 40 odd runs, and then he waved his bat to the crowd.
Yeah, yeah. Or
Yeah,
similar to the Bombay Duck, Ajit Agarkar, when he got his
yeah.
first run after a string of duckouts
and then
in
and then
Australia as well.
he ended with a century at Lords that
Yeah,
even Sachin does not have. Yeah, digressing a lot. Right.
yeah, yeah. So coming back to the dismissal, the analysis provided by one of the commentators was bang on. Shea had played Wagner. Now Wagner and Bolt both are left arm quicks. Shea
Yeah.
had played Wagner quite a bit before Bolt had come into the bowling change. Uh, so if you notice, Wagner's ball wasn't swinging as much as Bolt. So
Yeah.
Shea, when he played that shot, he was expecting a Wagner type of slide in swing, not much, and
Yep.
slide middle and off type uh,
Mm.
around. And when Bolt bowled, he bowled at middle and leg, and it
Yeah.
actually swung much towards leg, and he
Yep.
completely missed it. It was a beautiful ball, a
It
bowler's
was.
delight, and it was a good review by Virat to not go in because
Yeah.
Shea
To save
definitely
that
wanted
wicket.
to go in for that. So
Yeah.
that was also a positive sign because Virat generally is not that great with review systems,
Yeah.
review calls. But this was, I think, one thing that Virat was bang on.
Yeah, from the stump mic, you could hear Virat asking Che, "Did you hit it?" And Che was like, "Nahi, bat nahi laga."
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
Virat gave that expression.
Yeah, but Shea still
It
was
was like,
insisting
yeah,
on going for the review, but Virat like, I
Virat
don't
was
think we
like,
should not waste it.
"No, it's a waste." And yeah,
Yeah,
at the most, I thought it might be Hyde because he was bad. All the Indian batsmen, which was very remarkable, observation even in the commentators' box. Everybody was batting outside the crease to neglect the swing,
yeah.
and I thought that would have been going over the top, but the Hawkeye just showed that it would hit, and it was an absolute brilliant decision by the umpire until they
Yeah.
got the next one, which was really, I felt that was really crazy. New Zealand were reviewing, and then umpire had other thoughts, and they wanted to review their own, and that saved New Zealand one review. Otherwise, they would have lost another one.
It was a referral
Refer,
more,
yeah,
but I still didn't understand why the need to go for a referral was
yeah,
taken by the umpire, especially when the opposing captain didn't take the review and the
yeah,
square leg umpire clearly confirmed that the ball was caught neatly by the keeper. So
yeah,
you either give it out and check whether the ball carried or not, or give a soft signal and want to check. But
exactly,
this
yeah.
was something very, very different. But coming back to the point when you said height was a critical factor,
Mm.
you should realize, I think this was in the 30th over, 35th over. so the ball is slightly
Yeah.
old, standing 1 foot ahead of the
With, yeah.
crease. And now with the new regulations by ICC include, which is in effect with the final, even
Yep.
clipping of the bails will be given out. Um,
Yes.
so I think it
Which
was
was,
more or less,
yeah.
this was a proper 3 red dots, including hitting the leg. So that was not a big factor, but it looked plumb when you
Yep.
watch it on live.
It did. Just the height factor that would leave a question mark, but then with the change rules, yes, it was out.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next point. What a beautiful performance by New Zealand in their bowling, especially Wagner and Trent Boult. Southee was rusty, but he came back well. And Jamieson, he's proven to be, like the X factor.
So each bowler is different.
Yep.
You could see how Colin Dragram got more swing than any of the other quicks, and he was troubling Virat for a while with some really good deliveries, missing the bat.
He was.
The one that hit the upper part of the thigh guard, which was a vociferous appeal by the keeper Watling, who
From leg
also,
stump to off.
yeah, and Watling getting this his first catch of the final, his final match before he calls it
Yeah.
quits and retires. So it was a lovely performance. Southee and I would say Bolt was a bit rusty at the start, but then after a few overs he got into the groove. Southee was on it from the start itself. Jamieson
Because
as
he
well,
was
I
going
think.
for runs. Indians were comfortable playing him rather than Bolt. I felt they both Rohit as well as Shubman Gill, they were comfortable playing, seeing off Bolt and making the strokes of Southee. That's what I thought.
It's a left arm and a right arm combination, which
Yeah.
also India generally does not have much left arm quicks. So I think that was a big factor, which also they know the threat of Bolt, world class bowler, taking nothing away from Saudi at all. But
Yeah.
playing a right arm quick is a little easier for a right hander, especially for the Indian batsman right now, than a left arm quick. So they took it like, let's see off Bolt before we look at other bowlers. Jamieson took a while to get into the groove, but then yeah, he was bowling his entire bowling. He was pitching it around the length, shortish length area only, and nothing up. So you could see how when Gill was batting, he was charging down to Jamieson, and one
Yeah.
of the balls which just sort of
Just
picked
hit him
up
on
and
the
hit
helmet. Yeah.
helmet. Yeah, so that
Yeah.
kind of like shook him. But apart from that, I think the way the bowlers bowled, it was quite good. But yeah, if the sun does come down today, which is what the prediction of the weather is, you never know eventually, because we're still about 2.5 hours away from the start of the match, and
Yeah.
English weather is notoriously known to change in about 15 minutes itself. The sun does come up. You could see the conditions being more conducive towards batting, and I think that's when you could see Virat and Ajinkya cutting loose, because now both of them are set. One is on 26, one is on 44. Maybe New Zealand did miss a trick of not having a spinner. Only time will tell.
Yes, a very crucial partnership between the captain and the vice captain. A good solid performance here. If they manage to add on another 50, 100 runs, which they easily are capable of, both world-class batsmen, Ajinkya in his soft demeanor, calm demeanor, and Virat with his aggression, they can pile up runs. But the most important thing is play away the first 1 hour again, like Sharma and Gill did yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. They need to get their iron. There's no rush. There's enough time in this test match, and we are in a good position. The match is tantalizingly poised. 146 for three.
Yep.
Uh, we should target at least 300 to 350 from
Yeah.
this position at least.
With Rishabh Pant, Ravindra Jadeja, and Ravichandra Ashwin coming in, we still have fair bit of batting left,
Yeah.
and I don't see any reason unless New Zealand come really top guns and just knocking off Indian batsmen out. I don't see a reason why we cannot score 350 odd runs. But
Yeah,
the first session and first hour will be very crucial. This situation is very similar to what India faced against Australia in Melbourne, as well as I think it was Sydney, where they were batting the next day and they had to play off the first hour.
yeah, it's pretty much in every test match that you see the first hour after any sort of break,
Yep.
any is the start of day's play is always crucial because the batsman has to get back into concentration, getting his eye in, getting his feet moving. The
Yep.
first touch of the ball onto the middle of the bat is also important for the confidence to come. Constant misses and going off, missing the bat also doesn't help. So
Yep.
it takes a while for the batsman, and certain these sort of rain disruptions also doesn't help, where the fielders and the players keep going off and coming back in.
True.
It's easy for the fielding team because fielding team has all the time in the world to adjust, but the batsman, you just need one mistake and the wicket is gone. And
Yep.
especially if it's a very important wicket, it could just be a collapse after that. The pattern could just change, and you did see what happened in Adelaide in the day-night test between India and Australia. It was just one session, and the match was over.
One
1
hour, and
hour.
the match was over. Yep.
Yeah, 1 hour, one session that
Session. Yep.
just turned the entire competitive possible match winning position to a complete loss. And then it's very hard to come back because generally the opposition tails are up, and they kind of like figured out how to hit the team in the head. But that said, taking nothing away, it was a very good day. I just can't get over the fact of just 64 overs in the first day.
Yeah.
Cricket needs to change. It needs to adapt.
Yeah.
If it's, and you should continue playing it under different condition. Maybe get it into a closed stadium, perhaps. But something
Yeah.
has to happen.
Like
You
the
can't
Marvel
just have.
Stadium here in Melbourne.
Yeah, exactly. You just can't afford to lose out such important sessions and say bad light or rain and leave it to the weather gods. You need to
Totally.
have some sort of a backup plan or a proposal in place. Let's see how things go for that.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
early start to the play. It's 10:30 a.m. local time England for the start. 98 overs are to be scheduled just like yesterday,
Mm.
and so basically yesterday 98 overs were to be played, but only 64
Yep.
were played. So
Right.
today 98 are to be played again. It's for all the 5 days, and
Yep. The
whatever
reserve
overs
day.
are lost, only those many overs will be used on the reserve day, not for the full
Yes.
day.
Yes, correct. Some really strange rules, but I think this is a positive start. They are looking at Test cricket and trying to make it more competitive and more compelling for the user to watch, because Test cricket, as people have said over and again, and in the broadcast, they were showing interviews of Kohli, how Test cricket is his favorite format, and that's because he loves the test it tests his character, his resilience, and his flexibility. And a lot of it was discussed on air by the commentators. And there was some, I love the commentary team that has been selected for this game. And I could hear some good banter between the commentators, DK and Nasser Hussain, and Bishop joining in with Sangha. What do you make of that?
A good debut, right, by DK?
Very good, and he is really comfortable. I think he has been guest commentator in some other formats in other competitions, but I think this is his full-fledged role as a commentator.
Yeah, he held his own quite well, and yeah, absolutely. I remember the banter between him and Nasir with Simon Dole in the commentary box at that point
Yeah.
of time, and there was absolute laughter in the background when DK took a sliding at Nasir and Dole. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was a good. It's a good welcome change, and a
Yeah.
good commentary team have been put in place.
Yeah.
So
I just miss Harsha Bhogle and Ian Smith, but the others are really, a very good team.
COVID challenges.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is
I read
that's
that
the
in
reason.
read that in the news. Yeah. We wish them luck. While we were focusing on the World Test Championship, there was one other very interesting match that was going on in England between Indian women and the English women team. And India on the verge of a defeat, following on, remarkably saved the match and went on to pile on the runs. Your thoughts?
There was something beautiful happening at Bristol as well. Absolutely, Devang. England women scoring 396 and declaring in the first innings. Indian women 231 all out were given the follow on. The match and women's test match is not a 5-day affair; it's a 4-day affair.
4-day affair. Yep.
So
And
you could
the
see
follow-on is
that.
also 150, not 200.
Yes, so you could see the Indian women were facing an uphill challenge,
Yep.
and the second innings they gritted it out and 344 for 8 before about when 11 overs or 12 overs were remaining yesterday. A draw was finally awarded to both the teams. So it was a gritty performance by the Indian women, and some nice performances by Shefali Verma in the first innings. Then
Even in the second, she scored us 50.
second as well, and then Rana and Bhatia at the fag end of the tail, hanging on to go in for a draw. And when you are following on, it's a challenge when first of all you're playing in English conditions. It's Bristol, it's cloudy, swinging, but nevertheless they held their nerve, and it was a beautiful draw for the women. Yeah.
Had it been a 5-day affair, you never know. You could have witnessed another upset like 2001. Fond
Absolutely.
memories.
Absolutely. So you give a few overs here and there, and then a possible draw could also turn into a possible victory as well. So you could
Yeah.
see that even with players from the men's side as well talking about it, right?
Yeah.
If you had given us an extra 10, 12 overs, I think
Yeah.
we could have chased down the target
Yeah.
and not gone in for the draw. But yeah, that's cricket. That's Test cricket.
Yeah. And some interesting stats that I have with me here. Shefali Verma's 3 sixes is the maximum by any women's player on debut. Till now, the highest was 2 sixes. So
Wow.
Shefali
Wow.
Verma already writing her name in history books. Brilliant
Yeah,
performance. Well done, women. Well done, the ladies team.
good for them, and good
Good
sign
for
of
Indian
good things to
cricket.
come. Sign of good things to come. Yeah.
Yep. And that brings us to the end of this show. Any last words for this episode before we wrap it up?
I would love to see how New Zealand approach day 2, because I think they can't sit back and wait for wickets to fall. I think they need to now. Today, I think you'll see New Zealand coming hard at the Indian batsmen, trying
Yep.
to pick up wickets. Rather compared to yesterday's length short bowling, you will
Yep.
see more aggression from New Zealand today. So
Yes.
it's a good day of Test cricket. Hoping no rain and really hoping for a good day of Test cricket.
That's what we are hoping for. Thank you for joining us, and we wish both the teams a good day. Thank you. Bye.